Okay, another drive time talk. Let's talk. That's all we can do right now. It's just talk and understand some situations. Okay, right, let's talk. Oh, recently in America, and this is as recent as last 2 days ago, in America, they said in one of the states or something like this, or county, whatever you want to call it, right? I think it's another state. They said it will be mandatory, means by law, everybody has to wear masks. They're talking about the public, members of public. So they've made it a law now in that particular state that it will be required by the law for everybody going outside must wear a mask. Isn't that a bit funny? Because I think it was about 3-4 weeks ago, probably even more. I think it was just before the lockdown announcement, 2-3 days before all of that. I actually made a video and I told everybody to do it, and nobody did. Here's another coincidence. A lot of my close friends know this. So I made a video approximately about 5 days ago, but I didn't release it. 5-6 days ago, I didn't release it. I just made it, and I was having a little chat with my friends, and I was like, well, this is the video, have a look. So everyone's had a bit of a look at it, like, okay, close people to me at the time, they had a little look at it, they heard it, and everyone kind of encouraged me to put it on. Now, I felt guilty putting that video on. It was the one, what would I do if I was the Prime Minister? I felt quite guilty because I didn't want to put this on while Boris Johnson was in hospital, because it just kind of looks wrong. I've got nothing against him, as I always have stated, that I've got nothing against prime ministers and this and that. I'm just not for them, but I don't have anything against them. And I always maintain this, that politicians, news, whatnot, they never lie to you. They just give you fragmented information. So I made this video. This is hilarious, right? And so after the day he came out, or I knew that he was coming out, I decided to launch the video. So I put the video on YouTube. You can see it. It's about 2-3 videos before this. So I put it on, and then on Sunday, I believe it was Sunday night, I hear the US president, I think it was Sunday or Saturday night, anyway, I hear the US president, Donald Trump, saying exactly what I said. And that's quite funny, right? Everyone was like, hold on, how could you say that? It's like a prediction, right? I don't make predictions, right? But this is what I said I would have done, and it's just made more logical sense to do. And that's exactly what US did. They distributed money to everyone's bank account. How funny is that? That's a bit of a bloody damn coincidence. But what else? I want to talk about one other thing as well. Okay, WHO. So a couple of days ago, they stopped the funding for WHO. And what's bugging me the most is, say, for example, you have a company or an institution or an organization, whatever you want to call it, right? And you want to manipulate them, and you want to use them to your advantage or whatnot, right? And I know you're thinking it's another conspiracy alert. Yeah, it is a conspiracy alert, right? Okay, this is definitely something I've been thinking. So I'm not conspiring, because I need 2 people for that, and I'm doing this on my own, so call it whatever you want. Okay, now, what I've thought about was, so you need to be the one that either pays the most, bribes the most, does whatever the most, right, in order to manipulate the system. And one thing kept on coming up, and Donald Trump is, constantly standing up on that little stand every day, doing his daily briefing, and oh, by the way, not to forget that the 2-meter rule doesn't apply to him. Also not to forget that out of everybody in number 10, only Boris Johnson got it. So we'll leave it there. So let's come back to the situation where, so this is what you would do, right? So whoever pays the most gets things done, or you can manipulate or bribe or get people to listen to. Now, this is what really bugs me. USA pays 500 million approximately, so because I don't know the full detail, this is exactly what Donald Trump said, you can go and verify, pays 500 million to WHO, and China pays approximately 40 million a year to WHO. What's really bugging me is common sense and pure logic, right? Why would an organization listen to someone who pays 40 million and not listen to a company who pays 500 million? I mean, I have no idea what's going on here, right? I just kind of messing with my mind because logically it doesn't make any sense, right? We know they've admitted that in the whole world they pay the most. WHO is based in America, right? Just like the World Bank, the World whatever trust, you know, anything to do with the world, right? The name world, right? You know, the World Bank, the World Trade, the world this, world that, everything is in America, formed by Americans, right? This is where it started off. And they also pay the most. So why would this particular company organization listen to someone who pays the least? It's something I have no answers to. I'm still looking for it. So yeah. Also, another thing to mention is Boris Johnson came out of the hospital, and nothing against him, and he mentions a few people's name, but he especially gives a big thank you to 2 people, right? You know, but where are those 2 people? Are they still in the UK? Are they still in the front line? Are they still in St. Thomas Hospital? Where are they? That's what I want to know. I've heard the speech from their parents. I've heard, I've read writing regarding the other guy from, I think it was from Portugal. So I've read all of those things, right? But where are they? I mean, social media, friends and family would have exploded with them, but it hasn't. There's only been like some sort of a old photograph of the Portugal guy and a very old photograph of the New Zealand guild. So I'm thinking, what's going on? I mean, these are NHS heroes, right? We should be flashing them on the TV, on the news, everywhere. We should have them live. We should interview them, ask them about their experience, you know, congratulate them on what's been going on. But again, my question is, where are they? You know, another thing to point out, again, it just kind of mind-boggling, right? It just doesn't make any sense, right? So you've got this virus, which was a epidemic in China, became a pandemic globally, and you've got all these countries who are very high-tech, who can produce all the equipment, technology required by stopping production in car factories. And I'm not even going to bother naming the car factories because we know, you know, these are contracts that are worth in the billions. So let's just leave it there. You know, they're not losing out. And then you've got these countries in the third world, right, who can't produce any of this, who don't have the technology, who do not have the infrastructure, and none of their leaders, right, this is a very good point, none of their leaders have been affected. They have no infrastructure, remember this, right? And they have not been infected. You know, there are countries where they only have like, you know, a population of like, I don't know, 100 million, and they only have like 2,000, 3,000 actual beds in the whole country. None of them have been affected. So yeah, I mean, we're just looking at that. The only countries that have been affected are, for example, Italy. Italy had one of the most high-tech hospitals. They had the highest number in the beginning. Then we now have America with some of the highest numbers out there. I mean, these are numbers, the mind-boggling numbers, right? In such a short span of time. And yet, the leaders are absolutely fine. And then we've got one leader, who's our leader. Also, we had a member of the royal family. So remember, we had Prince Charles, fine now. We've had our leader, the Prime Minister, fine now, right? So they were all exploding. I mean, these are high profile people from one country, and we have had 2 or 3 to be precise, because we had the health minister as well, remember? We have no idea what's happening with that person. But anyway, so that news kind of just fades away because the latest news is more bigger than the previous news. Anyway, so What happened to that person? I'll leave that to you, right? Let's all figure out together. But anyway, we've got two people from one country, very high profile, who seem to have contracted the virus and also came out. And then we have news of all these 100-year-old and 102-year-old, and no disrespect to any of them, like veterans and whatnot, right? Parading all over the internet, right? Or even the news. Brilliant. I have no issues with that. But then we have a conflicting message where, every day people are just kind of literally dropping dead after injections and whatnot. Again, remember, I always say, doctors, they don't do anything. They from their heart, they always want to treat people. But the fact is they don't know what they're treating people with. So I'm just going to leave it there. This is serious, very serious. The pandemic is obviously serious, but the questions are more serious, and not many people are asking. And this is what's been kind of bugging me, because I'm just trying to, I like maths, right? I wasn't the greatest student when it came to studies because I didn't really like studying. I felt that they weren't teaching me enough, right? So that's a little bit of history of myself, right? But I love maths. I love maths because I know 1 and 1 equals 2. I don't know where we get 1 and 1 equals 3, because right now that seems to be the kind of mathematics we're getting. We see the countries with no infrastructure have none of the leaders having it, all right? So we know this globally. None of those leaders have it. We have one of our superpower in the world who doesn't adhere to the 2-meter distance rule, and they're all fine, and all the cabinet and everybody's fine. And then we have UK, where this person has been in the parliament, has been walking around the number 10, XYZ, many people, and yet he's the only one, and one other high profile, which is Prince Charles, right? Honestly, it doesn't make sense, right? The person from the health minister, right? She was in the parliament house, right? And in the parliament house, they had more than 500 people debating. And guess what? Not a single one of them have come up with it. So what is going on, What seems to be I just, that doesn't make sense, right? And then on top of that, I've got another one as well. Mathematically doesn't make sense, right? So, the demographic of USA. So everybody knows this. If you go and search on the internet, you can see the population of on the internet, right, of USA. Also UK. So I'm going to mention UK as well. And you can see, and you can even work out exactly how many number of people there are by just dividing it by 4. Just say there's a family of 4, this is the number of population, divide that by 4, boom, that's how many households we've got on average, right? So we say an average family of 4. And there are plenty of people with many more, like, there are people in USA, we have 12, 13, 14 kids. Let's not go down there, let's just keep it average 4. And we can do the maths, and then we say how much money was printed, right? So we know how much money was printed by USA, and then we say if each household got this much as a paycheck, how much would it be? And yesterday I see he's saying we've already run out. Where is the money? And then we've got UK, 350 billion, and then do the same maths again, take the population, divide it by 4, and say this is the number of people we have here officially, right? Because these are numbers on the book. And then if you just wanted to give a random number and say we're going to give this much, like £1,000 for example, to each family member, do the maths, and how many billion does it work out to? And I guarantee you, very soon, within the next few weeks, you will hear that we have also run out of money. That's even before anybody receiving those payments. So mark my words, I'm telling you. Look, today's date, whatever, it's the 16th of April, I believe, right? It's a Wednesday. No, it's not. It's a Thursday. Damn, bloody hell, week flies, right? So Thursday, the 16th of April. So, remember this date. And, come a couple of weeks down the line, ask this question to yourself. Was I correct? Was I not, to question what I'm doing? Call me a nutter. No worries, right? Subscribe me if you like the entertainment I'm giving, because I'm a nutter. But the fact is that, this, I'm thinking out of the box. Nobody else is asking those questions. Everyone just wants to basically just follow the news, follow whatever they're hearing. And I've been telling everybody, get your heads out of the black box, because it doesn't help you, because you're not asking the questions, because your questions are being answered for you before you could ask. And this is the problem. see the news. I have no no obligation against it. I recommend you to see the news, but then ask the question. That's what I'm always fighting for, is how many people are asking questions, right? Find the answers yourself. It's a battle, right? We're battling ourselves. We need to find the correct answers and wake up. That's what I say, right? Wake up, because we're all in a little bubble, the bubble that's been created by the people around us. So, please, somebody answer these questions. Ask these questions. Ask people, friends, family. And if you like the content, then you know what? Give me a thumbs up. If you think I'm nuts enough to entertain you, then subscribe to me. Share this message and have a laugh. That's all I'm going to say. Have a laugh. It's the least you can do, right? Because, as I said, I've stated the date. And this is not from a script. None of this. I'm driving, so I can't even see. I really, really want you guys to see those numbers, do the maths, and somebody should explain to me. Oh, by the way, YouTube decided to take a few of my videos off because apparently they don't confine, or whatever you want to call it, whatever the word is, right, with the YouTube terms. So apparently I violated whatnot, right? I guess the conspiracy was just too high for them to actually publish it. They've published all other nonsenses I'm putting down, and I'm going to call it nonsense because I know you're going to call it nonsense, but that's fine. But yeah, when it came to those videos, they decided to just get rid of them completely, not even publish them in the first place. Anyway, they gave me a little slap in the back of my hand and they said, don't do it again, or next time you're going to get a strike. I've seen it before. I used to have another channel, had thousands of subscribers, and I said something that I shouldn't have, I guess. Yeah, my whole channel got taken off. So I didn't get 3 strikes, I got a permanent ban. So yeah, that was quite a funny one, but that was many years ago. That was back in, I think it was back in 2015 or 2016. So I was talking about some political stuff, which I shouldn't have. Anyway, so yeah, this is my video for today. Yeah, let's see who comes up with what, and let's see what are the answers, what happens in the future. Take care, guys. Stay safe. Stay protected. Make sure to wear masks because it's going to be a law soon. You definitely need those. Stay protected. Wash your hands as many times as you can. And yeah, every now and then I'll drop one of those motivation videos because I think those are quite helpful. The last one I dropped off was basically because I've heard some messages where husbands and wives are now stuck at home, and some husbands who have anger problem or temper issues are actually having some issues with their wives and whatnot, because they're in a confined space together, and guess the husband wants something, the wife doesn't want to give it, or the wife wants something but the husband doesn't want to, but nobody's really understanding what's going on. So on that basis, I thought, you know what, it'd be really nice to drop that motivational video. It's actually not my own video, it belongs to a website, fearlessmotivation.com. So yeah, definitely go and check them out. Very good. I just happened to use some material from there, but yeah, it was really cool. All right, so check it out. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.